A TikTok user recently moved into a new apartment and while looking around outside found a cryptic note stuck to a sign. This would be the beginning of a slightly terrifying search for clues. Let's investigate. If you enjoy internet mysteries, conspiracies and true crime, feel free to subscribe and turn on notifications for more content like this. I also have a Patreon and a PayPal, so if you're interested in supporting the channel, feel free to check those out, links will be in the description. TikTok user HamCityNR2, we'll call him Ham, began uploading last month after finding a cryptic note on a sign outside their new apartment. The note had some letters and symbols and other markings that didn't initially make any sense. There were some numbers on the paper that Ham recognised as coordinates, so he searches them and the location is nearby. At the location, he looks around for a while, but without knowing what he's looking for, he didn't see anything that stood out, until he notices a building with a pipe coming out of the side, with a block that looked out of place. He finds a tape, which has a line on it that appears to have been drawn using the same pen that some of the markings on the note were written with. By this point, Ham has acquired a bit of a following, and other users are discussing theories and trying to figure out what the note means. It was suggested that the note might have been for geocaching, which is an activity where participants try to find a hidden item or container using coordinates that have usually been posted on the internet. Whether the intention was for someone to find the tape or if there's another purpose, I guess this is still a form of geocaching, though Ham seems to think there was something more to it. Anyway, he buys a VCR and goes live to play the video. He uploads a clip after the live for anyone who missed it, which shows the contents of the video. There's Morse code and it shows a clip or an image over another clip. For example, at one point there's a bridge in the background with a man's face edited over it. Other users recognise the man as Alfred Nobel, a Swedish chemist, engineer and industrialist, though it's not exactly clear what the video means. In one of Ham's TikToks, there appears to be a figure outside watching him through the window, though he doesn't notice at the time. Someone suggested that the lines on the note could be a floor plan, and after some cutting out and rearranging, Ham realises that it is a floor plan for his apartment. At this point, things are getting pretty creepy. But maybe that layout isn't specific to Ham's apartment. It's not uncommon for many apartments surrounding each other to have the same floor plans. It soon became apparent that he is being targeted though, as he comes home one day to find a plastic bag on the handle of his front door, which contains a tape recorder with "Let some air inside" written inside it. He checks around the window and eventually finds an air vent with a tape hidden in it. The tape has bit.ly written on it, which is basically just a shortened link, and seems to just feature random noises, but when someone ran it through a spectrogram, that converted the sounds to letters, which paired with the bit.ly that was written ended up giving a link. The link leads to a video of a similar nature to the first videotape that was found. It shows more codes and strange imagery. As Ham and his followers figure out more of the codes and discover more clues, he becomes clearly paranoid that someone is watching him and standing outside his front door, so he upgrades the peephole to one with a camera. He also buys a GoPro type camera in preparation of exploring an area he believes there might be another clue. His first trip is with a friend and they don't find anything, but he gets home and finds another note and realises he missed something. He goes back alone in the pitch black and finds another tape. As he picks it up, there's a loud noise that clearly startles Ham, so he runs and makes it back safe. He doesn't really remember getting back, but passes out on his sofa for a long time. This isn't the first time he mentions oversleeping, earlier saying that he slept for 14 hours, which I'm assuming is unusual for him. While he's asleep, 2 videos are uploaded to his TikTok account, making a reference to 10 tapes, suggesting that there will be a total of 10 tapes or puzzles to solve. After Ham shows what's on the most recent tape, more creepy shots and codes, a few days pass. Then he goes out one day and sees a QR code on a public notice board drawn using the same grey pen that was used on the first note. It was drawn kind of rough, so he couldn't scan it, but someone managed to clean it up and make it scannable. It showed letters and numbers, which eventually led him to a link of another cryptic video. The title of the video initially seems like random letters, but they also turned out to be a link to another video, which was almost the same with some minor differences, such as an I changing to the letter C. Someone, somehow, figured out a link to another site with coloured blocks where a password needed to be entered. They had to ask nicely for a clue and found the password, which led to another site with yet another video. Ham goes out on his very cool scooter and sits down near a tower that he downloaded an app for. It keeps crashing, but it's supposed to be to control the lights on the tower. When he arrives home, he notices an email, which in addition to an image of the tower with the text, "You know how, June 12th, also contains photos of him sat near the tower. And that's the last TikTok that was posted as of when I'm filming this video. Before we speculate on the story, if you didn't realise already, this is an alternate reality game. Ham hasn't actually said it's an ARG, but he's kind of indirectly implied it, and there are telltale signs. Codes and cryptic videos are very common in ARGs, as are well-timed creepy moments, such as the loud noise he heard as he picked up the tape, and the figure in the background in one of his videos. The way he acts is not off-putting by any means when you're immersed in the story, but it's not how most people would react to what's going on if it was real. If someone was posting tapes through my letterbox and uploading videos to my TikTok while I was asleep, I'd be calling the police, not making videos about it. I also wouldn't go to an isolated location alone in the middle of the night. But as I said, that doesn't detract from the story, it's just a sign that it probably isn't real. Anyway, it's not yet clear exactly what's going on, but we know that someone is following Ham and leaving him clues, only revealing tiny pieces of the puzzle with each clip. At times they are taunting him, such as when he types help in the password bar and a message tells him to ask politely. It seems to be a game to them, like they're enjoying watching Ham attempt to figure out what's going on. There are a couple of comments earlier on that suggest he's being warned about something, but if it was an urgent warning, I think they'd be more direct and less cryptic. I wonder if this could be some kind of cult initiation. It's not too dissimilar to Cicada 3301, albeit on a much smaller scale. It could be a test to see if Ham is able to meet their requirements, whatever they may be. Or maybe it's an experiment of some kind. We know that something is supposed to happen on the 12th, and presumably Ham needs to go to the tower on that date. That could be where he finds the next tape, or maybe he'll discover something else. I have a feeling we'll get more answers then, though I think it's still far from over. Overall, I really like this ARG. It's interesting, compelling and very interactive. It kinda reminds me of Marble Hornets, which I absolutely loved watching years ago. If you're smart enough to have a crack at solving the puzzles yourself, which I certainly aren't, you can really get into the investigation with Ham. He's very responsive on the Discord server he dedicated to this, and even if, like me, you're not great at deciphering stuff, it's still so fascinating to watch it unfold, and to see how people have solved things. I'd really recommend checking out Ham's TikTok and joining the Discord server. He seems really cool and friendly, and the community is great too. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts in the comments. Do you have any theories as to where this is going? If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing. Huge thank you to my patrons, whose names are on screen now. I really appreciate your support. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on Thursday for a new video.